Valley Club. There's over 65 teams in Marvel Strike Force right now. Some of them are worth building, worth putting your resources in. Others are total trash and are just big resource traps. So which are the best teams? Which are the worst teams? In this video, we're going to make it easier. We're going to rank every single team as they stand right now in Marvel Strike Force. And if you're ready for that, then you need to do Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're going to do it again, ranking every single team in Marvel Strike Force from best to worst, so that you can decipher what are the best teams to put your resources in, which are the teams that you need to avoid. Now, before we get to this countdown, though, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. More great Marvel Strike Force content is on the way on the ValleyFlyin channel, so make sure you are a subscriber. Countdown videos like this, gameplay videos, news videos, question and answer videos, everything you have your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But before we get to this countdown, I do want to talk about some of these mythic characters. These are some of the best characters in the game right now. But because most of them are not on traditional teams, Kestrel is on the Pegasus, Ultimus is on the Annihilators, but the rest of these guys just kind of fit into these hybrid teams that are very, very good. So these characters are usually not, they're not going to be talked about in this video because they're not on a traditional team. And also this teams, as far as our ratings, just like we did last time, not going to take into account any legendary unlocks. So this list does assume that you already have any legendaries that you are chasing unlocked. Dark Dimensions, you know, the characters that you need to build up for them. It's going to be a lot of hybrid teams, but these are teams just based on their value in the game right now. Let's jump onto the tier list. All the teams are down here, and let's explain what these ratings are. Best of the best. Obviously, these are best teams, but for my ratings in this video, they need to be valuable in at least 3 game modes. So whether it be Arena and War and Crucible or Raids and War and Crucible, if they have value in 3 game modes, they are one of the best teams. Super important, usually having value in 2 game modes. Or they're a really solid raid team that is not as effective in Crucible and War, but 2 game modes, pretty super important. Good to have team will give you value, a lot of value in 1 game mode, maybe some value in Crucible and War, but maybe not one of the top tier teams in those game modes. Extremely niche. They do have some value, maybe some value in War, maybe some value in Crucible. You're not going to use them every single time you have one of these matchups, but they're a very extremely niche team. And trashy teams mean they're not worth your resources. They may have some value for early game players, but as soon as you get access to one of these later game teams, do not invest in these trashy teams anymore. Let's just start this list off with the A-Force. Now, they do have some value in War. It's very, very close to rating them a trashy team, but they are extremely niche. They still are pretty good in War. A lot of teams that they can beat, you don't really see on a lot of the meta defenses anymore, but they're still a pretty good team. You have them built, yes, use them. I wouldn't put any resources into A-Force at this point. AIM is a pretty trashy team. Orcus does have Scientist Supreme. The rest of the team is horrible, though, so AIM is good, Orcus is good, AIM is not. Asgardians are also pretty trashy, not a great team as they stand in the game right now. The Annihilators are the arena meta, some sort of mix of the Annihilators. Gladiator has a lot of value, very annoying in Cosmic Crucible defense, very annoying in War defense. So because they're valuable in 3 game modes, Annihilators are one of the best teams. Alpha Flight has value in War defense, has value in the raids, particularly the spotlight raids. They are okay in Crucible, not really great in Crucible, but because they are one of the important raid teams, very good War team, they're a super important team to have. Astonishing X-Men are not a good team anymore. They're pretty trashy. Bifrost is still has Val. Val is still pretty good, and as of right now, we don't have the Night Stalkers in the game yet. I do want to rate them trash, but because we don't have the Night Stalkers in the game yet, and they're the only solution for the Mystic Rays outside of a hybrid team with Mephisto, Bifrost is kind of an extremely niche team, but as soon as we get the Night Stalkers in the team, the rest of the team will go down to trash. Val will still have some value, though. Bionic Avengers are pretty trashy. Black Order does have a little value in War, but unless you're a hardcore War player or unless you really have them built up, you're not really putting a lot of resources into the Black Order at this point, so I'd say they're pretty trashy. Brotherhood is pretty trashy at this point. Cabal is an awesome team. Although they have value in 2 game modes, very good in Cosmic Crucible. That's what they're designed for. Also has a lot of value in War as well. So for that super important team, but doesn't have that extended value for the raids. or Arena. The Dark Hunters were okay. They were kind of in the meta when the Heroes for Hire were a little bit more in the meta, but not anymore, so they are trash. Darkhold does have a little bit of value. See them a little bit on Crucible or War defense, but that is kind of phasing out. So they're extremely niche team at this point. Death Seed, they are also pretty extremely niche. There are still some counters that they can help you with in War. Not really too much in Crucible, so they're a pretty extremely niche team. The Eternals, man, this is an old team, a team of two that is still super, super important. I know this is kind of a weird team because normally they're going to be on some kind of hybrid team because they're only a team of two, but Eternals very good in Cosmic Crucible, very good in War. And if you're taking any of the Dark Dimension into account as well, they're also very good in the Dark Dimensions. Fantastic Four, not a very good team. The members that do have some value got extended to other teams. Gamma Team is still an extremely niche team. I do use Red Hulk a little bit in some hybrid teams, but right now in War, they're okay. You're not going to really use them in any of the game modes, so they're extremely niche team at this point. The Guardians are pretty trashy. Hand has been trashy for a while. Heroes for a Hire, I still see them on War defense, and a lot of that is because City Heroes have a little bit of bonus in War right now. As soon as the War bonuses go away, they're gonna lose a lot of value again. Cosmic Crucible, they were very annoying years ago, but we have so many counters to them now. They're pretty easy to beat. But yeah, they still have a little bit of niche value because of the current season of War that's going on right now. Hive Mind, great in the raids. Crucible and War, they are one of the best teams in the game right now. Hydra is not a good team. Infestation has a little bit of value right now in War defense. That's pretty much where you're going to use them. Big Time Spider-Man has some value outside of that as well. It is a decent counter to any pre-taunt tanks, pre-match taunters. So yeah, he's has some value, but the rest of the Infestation team not really worth building up. Infinity Watch are kind of the cockroaches of Marvel Strike Force. They're always going to have some value. Very early safeguard, very early immunity, and you got it early either counterattack or evade with that early Nebula move. So they are a pretty niche team. Although they're losing a little bit of value as far as that efficiency in Cosmic Crucible, and still tough to beat in War as well. Illuminati is a very good team. Even without Captain Britain, they can still take a lot of teams in Cosmic Crucible, and they have some bonuses that they got extended to after they were released. So Illuminati is pretty good in War as well. So they are a super important team right now. Next is the Inhumans. They are pretty trashy. Black Bolt got moved on to another team, but the rest of the Inhumans pretty trashy. Same thing with the Invaders. Nowhere is a okay team. They're very good in War. Nova, you might use them in some other game modes, but they're pretty dominant in War still. They're a good team to have. They're almost at a niche team, but I would say they're a good team to have right now. Kree is a trash team. Marauders are a trash team. Masters of Evil is still very good in Cosmic Crucible. Use them a lot of counters. They are losing value from previous seasons, and they are still very good. A lot of times in hybrid teams with Cabal in War, but Master of Evil is still a super important team in my opinion because of their value in Cosmic Crucible. The Mercs are a trash team, but the Mercs for money are excellent. Big attack team this current season in Cosmic Crucible. Big attack team in War, and for that, and Old Man Logan kind of lost some value in Arena because of the rise of the Annihilators, but they're still a very important team to have. Military Skill is a trash team, unfortunately. The new Avengers are losing value. They still have a little bit of value in War. They're kind of in the nowhere rank as far as a defensive team in War. Sometimes you still can use them on offense, but they're still annoying. If you go in the wrong team on War, then they're gonna get your team's gonna get smashed. New Avengers are gonna smash you. New Warriors are still very good in Cosmic Crucible. I would say they're very good to have. They don't have as much value in War, although this current season of War, because of these city hero bonuses, they have a little bit more value than they will down the road. Out of Time team is great for War. Great for War offense. Black Knight still has this presence felt in a lot of game modes, so they're a good team to have. But yeah, not a lot of use for the Out of Time team in Cosmic Crucible right now. I still see them on defense, but they're beaten pretty easily on defense. Orcus is a team that is coming up, not fully in the game yet, but because they are great in the raids and because of their recent reworks that were announced last Friday, they're going to be great in Crucible. They're going to be great in War as well. So I'd say at this point, they are the best of the best, but because they're not fully out yet, that rating may change once the full team does come to the game. Pegasus lost a lot of value with the rise of the Orcus, and I'd say right now they're not totally dead, but they are an extremely niche team at this point. Not going to be used in the raids when you have a full Orcus teams, but since they're not in the game yet fully, we don't have, as I'm here recording this, Nimrod still hasn't been released. Omega Sentinel still hasn't been released. So Pegasus does still have some value, but going to go down once we have that full release of the Orcus team. Power Armor is a trash team. Himtech is a trash team. Ravagers are a trash team. Rebirth is a trash team. Secret Avengers are a trash team. Secret Defenders, though, are a super important team. Still needed for a lot of different counters in War, a lot of different counters in Cosmic Crucible. They don't have that arena value that they once did, but they're still very involved in the meta. Shadowlands is a trash team. Shield is a trash team. Sinister Six is a very, very good team to have. Very good in multiple game modes. If you did those Superior Six, pair them with the Sinister Six, they beat a lot of good teams. I would say the value of the Sinister non-Superior Six is mainly in War, though, so they're a good team to have. Spider Society is one of the best teams in the game. Even after those War bonuses for City Heroes goes away, they're still going to be very, very valuable in all game modes. One of the best teams that you could build up. Superior Six is a little different, though. I would say they're a super important team. If you remove the Superior Six from the Sinister Six, the Superior Six is a better team than the remaining Sinister Six, which is why they get the nod above them. And they're still great in Cosmic Crucible, still great in War. So Superior Six a little bit above the Sinister Six. Supernatural is a trash team. Symbiotes have been a trash team for a while. Tangled Web does still have some value in War and Cosmic Crucible. So for that, Weaver and 2099 get the nod and super important. Noir is already on a Spider Society team. Uncanny X-Men, even though they got a rework less than 6 months ago, or less than a year ago, maybe around a 6-month mark, they are a trash team. Underworld at this point is a pretty actually, I will go extremely niche for the Underworld. They do still counter a few teams in War, but that's about it. Very, very niche team. Undying is a good team to have. I would say they're a little better than niche. They still hella that combination of zombie Juggernaut, zombie Iron Man is still a thing in Cosmic Crucible, and they've always been a thing in War. Unlimited X-Men isn't that valuable. Rogue gets pulled off the team and put on a lot of hybrid teams, but Unlimited as a whole is pretty trashy when you think about the rest of the characters. Wakandans War Dogs are a trashy team, as despite all the reworks that they had. Wave 1 Avengers as a whole are a trashy team. They did get some members extended to other teams, but Wave 1 Avengers pretty trashy. Weapon X is still very good in War, and the recent addition of X-23 on that team means that when you pull Wolverine off put him on Alpha Flight, you still have a full Weapon X team that you could use in War. Web Warriors are a pretty trashy team. X-Force is a pretty trashy team. The good members went on to the merch for money. Extreme X-Men is one of the best teams in the game right now. Raids, annoying in Cosmic Crucible, annoying in War. So yeah, they're one of the best teams that you could build up. And Young Avengers, they've been good for so long. And Echo does still have some value because she prevents assists, but the rest of the Young Avengers lost a lot of value. This is where we are rated right now. Let me know your thoughts on every single team in the game and their rating. And let me know if you agree or disagree with this list. Should any of these teams be bumped up, bumped down? Let me know down in the comments, and hopefully you got some value from this video. And if you did, leave the video a like. It is free for you. It tremendously helps out the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see all the characters in Marvel Strike Force rated from best to worst, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, though. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.